Namaste, beautiful souls. Thank you for being here. And I just very nicely close all the portals, but didn't serve our highest best for all beings on earth and out beyond this vast universe. We are only welcome love and light and truth, because love and light bring truth. you know. So thank you so much. Hope everybody having a day when you can stay in center, because you know everybody, I mean, I didn't really watch videos or anything, but what I hear or past, what I see is always so beautiful and loving, and everybody is so well done. And if they're not, uh, they're making excuses and go into some kind of venting and things. And I don't think so it's necessary to do that. Um, yeah, I mean, definitely, I'm not putting out my personal things, because everybody going through, and that's a personal things. That's why it's personal. It's not need to be put it out. And what I trying to do here is, oh, wow, I don't even know. I have to true and to be, yeah, true and honest. And I know most people really having a hard time, and that's why we getting uh, difficulties with others, because we say the truth and the other person don't like it because they don't know how respond to it. That's the true things. And then just start creating some kind of scenario or some kind of version. And then, of course, some people don't say the truth, and that's irritated the people who want to hear a truth. But then also, not everybody ready to hear the truth, because a majority of people, I should have a sign for words, because I'm not sure I'm able to say some words, but like, so sleepy, so believe something but not really true, or want to believe, so going to denial, they're putting their head in the sand. And um, oh, I don't really know what I can say here and not. Because I don't really want the video taken off. Even I'm not a person who have that much impact on social media, because I don't really do it. But I've been getting some nudging for I need to some reason practice or something. I don't know. Nobody's saying it to me as like people, because I don't socialize, not just on media, but in person to person. Okay, I don't know really where I'm going to. I mean, I know where I'm gonna say, and I start talking about that last time in my video because I really would like if more beautiful beings come to a certain state in their mind, their see for how unique we are and how really limitless and powerful. And I'm not here for a motivational talk because even I have my unique lessons to need to learn because everything is really a lesson. It's not a difficulty or problem. It's just need to learn, solve the problem, you know. And I'm trying to do it a way when it's benefiting everyone because even my response is affecting so many people. I don't even know them. You know, so especially if I'm working out certain lessons but involved close beings around me, I really want to make out the best of, so they're able to transmute it to the other people in a positive way and not with issues, angers, and frustration and those kind of things. Because everything you can solve really with beautiful uh, matters and thoughts and actions and words, you know. And when we, or I believe, and everybody really start think that way, then really starts changing things. You know, when beings realizing for this world what they created, actually they didn't create it, there's somebody else started it, and a lot of people just didn't realize, fall in it and still in there and following that kind of greed and uh, that thing that cannot fulfill their wishes because they're looking in the wrong way because we came here not for making big bank account and wearing designer clothes and things. We really came here to for our inner spiritual work because actually everything we have externally is somehow our manifestations materialized, you know. And a few months ago, yes, it's been more than a few months ago, many months ago, I got into a conversation, and then the certain person kind of got upset with me because I said, I really working or functioning, or I don't know what the right word, with my feelings. And then there was like, they're shocked when I said that. And then that very second, I realized them, wow, the other person, 100% working with their mind. They're no feeling and they're blocking all the emotions and things. And then, so Not so matter how much you're saying mantras or what you're doing, if you're doing it with your mind and not with your true feelings, you're gonna have a harder time for manifesting things. Because really, all the things we manifest is because our feeling, and one way or other, manifesting. And yeah, people saying, oh, but those wealthy people, they're not really nice and things. But somehow they're manifesting their money because they're feeling, and it didn't matter it came from a fear or powerless, but there is something else what attracting money to them. They don't have a fear for not having money. They have a fear for something else. And then that's why if you look at most of them that have very serious other kind of addictions, because that fear is gonna manifest one way or the other, and that's why we really need to go inward and make peace with that, and see for this fear what we have is really not true, because actually I guess is scientifically proven for 99.9%, but you fear the most never come true. you know or if you come true and you stay here, you survive it, so no need to be feared. And yes, and also it's going to be a every day, constantly you have to work on it. Is not a one-time things and never come back. That's why we're here. That's why we have this human form, So it can be your nature, but it take a long time. Nothing happen. Like, look at the anybody who do sport, or anyone who really good some kind of artwork or something. Most of them, do it their whole life. They started at very young, and many, 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 many years, And then came to nature, but they still do mistakes. They're not always the best, because sometimes, the emotional things getting into that performance, and or a writers have a writer bug because something going on in their life. So that's the things, what not so matter how many classes you're taking and things, is it never gonna be for not working for it. And that's why I was starting another video for so many people really just wasting I say hard-earned money, because I know a lot of people really work very hard for making money. It didn't come to them that easy. And then they're going to these classes, and they feel good on that 45 minutes or whatever, because you're resting over there, because you're trying to focus on something what you really, really want, and then you leave, and then really nothing changing, because it's not really your mind, it's really happening internally. And I'm not saying you need to go and just isolate yourself, but you really have to go deep in really, really what you want. Really, what is your desire? Not the desire what your girlfriend or boyfriend or your family telling you, or you see in a TV or hear in a radio, or whenever you go and you see things, because constantly 1,000 things coming at you all the time. You don't have 1 second to sit with yourself. And it's really sad because I see many people for absolutely cannot be by themselves. And yeah, I was used to say it for, uh, I don't know, I used to say it because I don't really say it to any, what to do or what not to do. But I listened a few meditation, but I realized very quickly I have to make my own meditation, or I just really sit in silence, because we are so beautifully unique. We have our own frequency. We see different everything. We don't even see a same green color because we are so unique. And I might see a green a little bit darker than somebody else. So, and that's how same thing with the sound and noise around. Like my ears is is I'm laughing now because I start recalling and remembering um, when I was in art school after high school, for everybody saying, "Oh my God, your ears like a canine, like a dog ears. I hear everything," you know. And now is much more sensitive. I hear um, really more frequencies and more things than I can say the average people. But not just that. Like yesterday, I met this lady, and I didn't met yesterday, but I see her yesterday. Because she want to meet me again, because I want to know everything about you, and I don't know what she want to know about me, because everybody have their own beautiful story. My story is not uh, more beautiful or less beautiful than yours. It's just different because we are different, because we are unique. So my story is unique to me. Maybe you think them is unique because you focus on different things, because your interest is different. The other person maybe don't want to hear my story because the other person have a total different interest. So same thing. Actually, many years ago, I realized I went to this group meditation, and then a person was leading a meditation, and she was, start talking about visualize for you on this place. I don't want to go into, because everybody have a different favorite space, spot or space, or wherever you like to go when you want to relax and things. And guess what she was saying, that's the last things that time I want to go. I was never interested that kind of place because I didn't like a cold. I didn't. And yeah, I always loved to be in a warmer, nicer weather. So like a snowy cold weather for and the wind and things. So of course my meditation not going to be great. Because it's not the things what put me in a state when I able to relax and let everything go. Because my body naturally just going to tense because of cold. And then with other things, not everybody always a mood for listening drum or singing birds or a rain or a wind, or so you really need to do this. And actually what really um, uh, get into me, because I've been saying this been a long time to people, especially I have a few beautiful souls who doing spiritual work and giving class and things. And I was just asking simple questions. So what Buddha did, what Jesus did, what this yogi did. And everybody was just looking at me, nobody. And then when I said the answer, they were saying, oh yeah, because that was the most simple things. I mean, Jesus and Buddha, and no one carried all these kind of crystals and all these kind of things with them. That what they did, just sit down and start meditating. That's how simple. You need to sit down and start meditating. You don't need all those tools. The only tool you need is yourself. Find a space when you can be alone for 10 minutes. Nobody disturb you, because you're not gonna able to sit more than 10 minutes if you are not practicing every day. And you need to do it. Practice it every day, 3 times. You need to sit down. No telephone and nothing around you. And even you don't able, but just sit down. Because then you're just taking a time already for yourself and giving yourself, allowed yourself for have that time. Because first you're gonna think, oh, I'm just wasting time. And when you start thinking that way, that's not a positive feedback. I went through in a very difficult situation because I've been meditating and I was doing so great. And then one time somebody actually said, I'm lazy. Because I'm meditating, because I was meditating a long time. But like I get up like early, I get up really early, I arise very early, and so I able to do a meditation because I know it's so great for me. I know, and I can imagine for that. And I rather do anything. I mean, I rather do meditation than anything. Anything else now can wait. Because nothing more important. Because that's the only one things. When I'm departing from this body, the only things I'm going to take with me, those experience that I spend that with myself truly. And like now I get this point, because I was thinking how I say this, but for how I don't know who, but people saying, I know that always said, and that just never makes sense to me when people saying, oh, the nature show you that, and first of all, I want to be clear on that. I don't agree, or I have a different view. I'm not saying I disagree. I have a different view on near-death experiences. I have many. I'm more than a cat. Because even my family and people who know me, like, joke about I'm like a cat, 9 life. I'm more than a cat. I'm 2 cat. Because it's not really that, but I'm not going in that. But also, when people saying, look at nature, I mean, there die things, and then, is a no, it's not. Because there is no death and no birth. It's just renewing, transforming energies. That, yes, because when our leaves come off from a tree, that have their energy, that have their material form, go to the ground and materialize in a different way, came together to Mother Earth and giving Mother Earth a nourishment. So it can be a Mother Earth, and then a new seed or something gonna fall there, and a new life coming out, and that leaf go into that new life form. And that's how we are. That's how I see. That's how I see. And that's why I say it's not the religion, it's a spiritual things. It's a religion is because of tradition and culture, of course, every culture gonna, but really there was a spiritual things that was not going into a religion, that was their culture, and then just cherish things together, that traditions, their stories, and then later, of course, greed and power came and then started categorizing and separating things, and so because they know that's how I'm able to break up this beautiful unity and harmony. We came here to earth for experience this beautiful earth here, because mother earth was already here, working perfectly, waiting for us, for nourish us to find our beautiful light and realize we are one with the all one creator, with the king of our universe, with God, with whoever you call. And now they got this other creation and separating people with these stories, with this Atlantis and all these things. And we don't need to focus on that, because that already was in a different dimension and different frequency. We still on earth in this density, this matter. We need to focus on our self, come to unity, and is only going to happen if we start realizing we are in unity. And it didn't matter what color we have, what language we speak. Nothing going to change when people still separating themselves because, I'm coming from that solar system or what. It didn't matter, because actually they're not separating themselves, they're working together for trying to help us to see this, that they don't really, there is no physical form in other dimensions. That feeling, that have the feeling. And that's how they don't even speak how we speak. But I don't want to be, sorry. I don't want to be too long this video because I can go on this over and over. Let me light the other beautiful purification, clearing for love and light enter, heal, and find peace, even when I'm getting dispassionate, because that's how I see, that's how my view. And I saying this not to change anybody or force. I just, I love to talk to people one-on-one, face-to-face. Because I love to listen their idea, how they see, and make me think, you know. And I always say, right now, that's how I feel. Right now, that's how I see things. But it's not mean a year from now, something didn't going to change. And they have to change if I want to grow for a better being, for truly be a light being. I have to. I have to surrender. And being, living in this world and things, I have a lot of things I need to surrender too, and it's take time, it's take work, nothing going to happen overnight. But then now I allowed myself to, okay, if I make a mistake, that's fine. That's how we learn, you know. They have this saying in some spiritual saying, for a master fab for more than a student. That's why there can be a master. That's why I'm following those masters, because there can be enlightenment beings, you know. Yeah, I admire some beautiful beings here in a human body, but I'm not judging them. But hey, if you are still smoking and drinking alcohol, I cannot participate in your teaching or program, because definitely that's not going to have my my growth, have my growth, So I don't know. Oh, why you keep turning? Why you keep turning? Because I want a little bit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can stay and listen if you like, but you might gonna turn it off, because I know people who this sound is very irritating, so I respect them. When I'm around, I don't play them, because they prefer something else, and it's fine. We are all different level. Not everybody on and I'm not other people. And it's not I'm putting myself above anybody, or I put people above me. I weak, but our frequency, is different, Same thing. Somebody likes sport and like certain things. I'm not into it. I used to like it, but I changed, and I don't do any any exercise right now. And I don't know, maybe a year from now I start doing again some kind of physical activity. But but allow yourself for, because that's your authenticity too, that's your truth, you too. If you allow yourself for, no, I don't want this pressure for going to a gym, or I don't want to have this pressure for whatever, you feel like, because you've been doing it for decades. It's because you're doing something for decades does not mean you have to keep continue to doing it. I mean, how I say this, don't misunderstand that. I'm saying it with love and light. I mean, yeah, you smoking quotes. That'd be the best things if you kind of stop it and not doing it. But, you can find other way to have joy in your life. You know, I know a lot of people go to the gym because their partner go, and but it's not mean you have to go to, you know. You can go to a library, or, you know, no, I'm not saying go to the bakery and have pastries. You know, because one thing is, and I'm not gonna preach about that because everybody have a free will. I always said is a blessing and a curse. It didn't matter what I eat, when I eat, I was always the same, you know. But I know it is so, so important for your inner work, what you put inside of you too. Whew. The two together, they're not gonna work if it's not in synchronicity. Everything have to be in synchronicity to feel you're making improvement. Because I I see people for hit the platter, you know, the flat, or how to say, like when people go to the gym and then after a time they didn't see improvement, you know, because something they're not doing in synchronicity to make improvement or seeing for a growth, you know. And same thing in a spiritual life, everything have to be in synchron to feel a growth. And then even when you don't feel it, there is sometimes need time to integrate. You cannot working out 24/7. You need to take break and enjoy, and you need to give some little rest for your body, you know. And same thing in a spirit, but you still do a meditation. That's not a option. You cannot skip that one. But, you know, occasionally, you know, you can have a little something, enjoyment, you know, not indulging in it, moderate, you know, so so you're not getting a sit back. Anyway, I'm gonna pray a little bit and welcome to listen and maybe reflect back what she was saying.